If you're over 60 and can still do these things, chances are you've got plenty of good years ahead. Not forever, of course, but likely a whole lot longer than most people expect. Let's make it fun. I'm going to share 7 specific things, and if you can still check off at least 5 of them, you're probably on track for a long, vibrant life. And no, I'm not talking about the same old eat right, exercise daily, get your vitamins advice. You've heard that 1,000 times. I mean practical, everyday abilities. The kind that show you're still sharp, still social, and still moving through life with energy. These are the little indicators that matter more than you might think. So here's the question. How many of these can you honestly say you still do? Stick with me to the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Number 1. You still remember where you put your keys, or at least find them in under 5 minutes. Let's start with something small but surprisingly powerful. We all know the frustration of walking into a room and asking ourselves, "Now why did I come in here?" Or misplacing the phone, the glasses, or the car keys for the 3rd time in a day. Forgetting occasionally is part of life, no matter your age. But here's the key difference. If you can retrace your steps and find what you lost without panicking, that's a great sign. Why does this matter? Because being able to solve little puzzles like this shows your brain is still firing on all cylinders. It's not just about memory, it's about problem solving, awareness, and staying mentally flexible. People who can calmly work through small daily challenges tend to keep their cognitive skills sharp well into their later years. And here's a simple solution if you find yourself misplacing things too often. The one-spot rule. It's exactly what it sounds like. Pick one place for your keys, one place for your glasses, and train yourself to put them there every single time, no exceptions. At first you might slip, but over time, your brain locks it in as a habit. Suddenly, you're not wasting 10 minutes every morning in a scavenger hunt. It feels like magic, but it's really just consistency paying off. This may seem trivial, but these little systems are what keep independence alive as you get older. You don't want to rely on others to find your things. You want to stay sharp, capable, and confident in your daily life. And if you can still do that at 60, 70, or even 80, it's a small sign of a much bigger strength. Number 2, you can still handle a difficult person without losing your cool. Now let's shift from memory to emotions. Because the truth is, it's not just our bodies and brains that matter for longevity. Our ability to manage stress plays a massive role too. And nothing tests that more than dealing with difficult people. We all know them. That neighbor who complains about the length of your grass, the family member who picks arguments at holiday dinners, the stranger in the grocery line who sighs dramatically because things aren't moving fast enough. These folks are everywhere, and at some point, you realize they're not going away. But here's the good news. If you can keep your cool around them, you're actually protecting your health. Research shows that emotional intelligence, your ability to regulate emotions and respond calmly, directly links to lower stress hormones, better heart health, and even longer life expectancy. Think about it. Every time you let anger consume you, your blood pressure spikes, your heart rate races, and your body pays the price. Over time, that stress wears you down. So if you're still able to take a deep breath, smile politely, and move on when someone tries to push your buttons, you're doing yourself an incredible favor. You're not just avoiding a pointless fight, you're extending your life. Now, what if you struggle with this? What if every rude comment or unfair criticism lights your fuse? Here's a little trick I love. Repeat to yourself, "This is not my circus, and they are not my monkeys." It's a playful phrase, but it works wonders. It reminds you that someone else's bad behavior isn't your responsibility. You don't have to carry their negativity, and you don't have to let it poison your mood. And when you think about it, staying calm around difficult people isn't just about health, it's about dignity. Nobody looks back on their 70s or 80s and says, "I wish I'd argued more with rude strangers." What they do remember is how peaceful they felt when they learned to let go, how relationships improved when they stopped taking the bait, and how much lighter life felt when they stopped sweating the small stuff. If these words touched your heart and sparked inspiration within you, leave a 3 in the comments to let it shine. If they did not, leave a 0 in quiet honesty. Every thought you share is a gift. Thank you for giving us a moment of your precious time. Number 3, you can still dance, even if it's just a little shoulder wiggle. Now let's talk about movement in its purest form, dancing. And no, I'm not saying you need to spin like you did at your cousin's wedding 40 years ago. You don't need to break dance, flip, or keep up with the kids on TikTok. What really matters is the ability to move your body to music, even if it's nothing more than a shoulder shimmy, a little foot tap under the table, or swaying gently while washing the dishes. Why is this so powerful? Because dancing isn't just about fun. It's medicine disguised as joy. Studies have shown that dancing lights up multiple areas of the brain at once. Memory, coordination, rhythm, and even creativity. It's one of the few activities that trains your brain and body simultaneously. That means every time you dance, you're strengthening your balance, sharpening your mind, and boosting your mood all in one go. And here's something interesting. People who keep dancing as they age not only live longer, they often stay more socially connected. Whether it's line dancing at the community centre, ballroom dancing with a partner, or simply grooving to your favourite Motown song in the living room, the act of moving with music lifts your spirit and reminds you that life still has rhythm. If you haven't danced in a while, here's your challenge. Put on your favourite song today. Don't worry about how you look, and don't aim for perfection. Just move. Even if it's in your chair, even if it's only for 2 minutes. You'll be surprised how quickly the smile creeps back onto your face, and how light you feel afterward. Because dancing is less about performance and more about staying alive, inside and out. Number 4, you can still make a stranger laugh. Now let's switch from physical agility to social agility. Imagine standing in line at the grocery store. You make a little joke to the cashier about the weather, or tease yourself about buying too much chocolate, and suddenly someone laughs. That tiny exchange may not seem like much, but it's a huge signal of mental sharpness and emotional health. If you can still make a stranger laugh, it shows your brain is quick, your wit is alive, and your personality hasn't dimmed. Humor takes timing, creativity, and confidence. And at a time when many older adults feel overlooked or invisible, making someone laugh proves that you're still engaging, still relevant, and still capable of brightening another person's day. Here's the deeper truth. Laughter isn't just about jokes, it's about connection. When you share a laugh with a stranger, even for 5 seconds, you've built a bridge. That small moment says, "I see you and you see me." And those tiny social sparks are linked to better emotional resilience, lower stress levels, and yes, longer lives. So if you haven't done this in a while, here's another challenge. Try it today. The next time you're out, make a silly comment about your shopping cart. Tell the waiter their sense of humour is worth a bigger tip. Or toss out a playful line to someone standing next to you. Don't overthink it. Just aim for a smile. You'll be surprised how good it feels when someone laughs with you, and how much it reminds you that your personality is still a gift. Number 5, you can still remember how much things used to cost. Let's face it, this one happens to all of us eventually. You walk into a store, pick up an item, glance at the price tag, and nearly drop it in shock. And without even thinking, you turn to the person standing next to you, who never asked, and say, "You know, this used to be $5. If you catch yourself doing that, take it as a good sign. It means your long-term memory is alive and well. Because here's the truth. A sharp memory isn't just about remembering names or birthdays. It's about maintaining a mental timeline of your entire life. If you can still recall how much gas cost when you first got your driver's license, or the exact price of a movie ticket when you took your first date to the theatre, your brain is still connecting dots across decades. Those details matter. They're proof that your memory bank is full and still functioning at a high level. And let's be honest, there's a certain joy in reminding younger people that things didn't always cost an arm and a leg. They might roll their eyes when you tell them bread was a quarter, or that you bought your first car for under $2,000. But here's the hidden truth. Those little details are a badge of honor. They show you've lived through different eras, adapted, and carried those experiences with you. Neurologists will tell you that cognitive decline often shows up first in the loss of small details like this. People start forgetting prices, dates, or little pieces of everyday life. So the fact that you can still summon those details from your memory vault is no small thing. It's a strong sign of brain health. So the next time someone teases you for sounding like a broken record about the good old days, just smile and remind them, that memory is why I'm going to outlive you. And maybe you will. Number 6. You can get up from the floor without struggling. Now let's shift from the brain to the body, because the next test of longevity is surprisingly simple. Can you still get up off the floor without turning it into a Broadway production? Let's be honest, sitting down on the floor is easy. Gravity helps you with that. But getting back up, that's where the real test begins. If you can push yourself up smoothly without grabbing the nearest chair, coffee table, or small child for support, you're in excellent shape. It means your legs are strong, your flexibility is decent, and your balance is steady. And those 3 factors, strength, flexibility, balance, are the holy trinity of staying mobile as you age. There's actually a scientific test for this, called the sit-to-stand test. Researchers have found that people who can get up from the floor without using their hands tend to live longer. It sounds silly, but it makes perfect sense. The ability to stand up from the ground signals muscle strength, joint health, and core stability. All the things you need to stay independent. Think about it this way. Life happens on the floor more often than we realize. Maybe you're playing with your grandkids, picking up a dropped pen, or gardening in the yard. If you can't get back up without a struggle, those everyday activities suddenly feel risky. But if you can pop back up with ease, it means your body is still on your side. And here's the best part. It's a skill you can practice. If getting up feels harder these days, don't panic. You're not doomed. It just means you need to strengthen the muscles that support you. Start by sitting on the floor once a day and practice standing up without using your hands. At first it might feel awkward. You might grunt, groan, or wobble a little. But keep at it. Over time, your body adapts, your legs get stronger, and your balance improves. This isn't about vanity, it's about survival. The ability to get up without help is one of the clearest indicators of how gracefully you'll age. Falls are one of the biggest risks for people in their 70s and 80s, and the stronger your ability to rise from the ground, the lower your risk of injury. So here's your challenge. Test yourself today. Sit down on the floor and see how smoothly you can get back up. If you nail it, congratulations, you're in fantastic shape. If you struggle, don't be discouraged. See it as a starting point. Every practice session builds your strength and your future independence. Number 7. you can still make new friends. Let's be honest, this one may be the most underrated sign of longevity. If you're over 60 and still capable of making new friends, you hold one of the most powerful longevity secrets in your hands. Why? Because loneliness isn't just uncomfortable, it's deadly. Research shows it's more dangerous than smoking a pack a day, more harmful than a junk food diet, and it can literally shave years off your life expectancy. But here's the flip side. If you can still strike up conversations, laugh with strangers, and build new connections, you're doing something extraordinary for your health. You're not just passing the time, you're extending it. Social interaction is like fertilizer for the brain. It keeps your mind sharp, your stress levels low, and your immune system humming along. And beyond the science, let's admit it, life is simply more enjoyable when you have people to share it with. Now, think about the natural rhythm of aging. Friendships that once felt permanent start to fade. People relocate, some pass away. Family members get caught up in their own busy lives. Suddenly, the vibrant social calendar you had in your 30s and 40s feels eerily quiet in your 60s and 70s. That's why the ability to build new friendships at this stage of life is so powerful. It's not just about filling the silence, it's about injecting fresh energy and meaning into your days. For example, one of my clients moved to a new retirement community in her late 60s. She told me she felt nervous, almost like the first day of school. But instead of hiding in her apartment, she joined the walking group that met every morning. Within weeks, she had a whole new circle of friends who not only kept her company, but kept her accountable for daily exercise. She admitted that if she hadn't taken that step, she would have slipped into isolation. Instead, she found laughter, connection, and a renewed sense of purpose. And here's the truth. Making friends doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to become the life of the party or collect hundreds of contacts. Even small connections matter. A quick chat with your neighbor, a shared joke with the cashier at the grocery store, or a warm hello at your local library, all of these tiny moments add up. They train your brain to stay engaged, and they remind you that you're still part of the human story unfolding around you. So, let's get practical. If it's been years since you've made a new friend, how do you start? The key is to begin small and consistent. Call up an old friend you've lost touch with. Take a class, painting, cooking, or even a fitness class. Attend a local community event or join a book club. Even volunteering a few hours a week can open doors to meaningful relationships. The point is to step out of your comfort zone, just enough to spark new bonds. And don't underestimate intergenerational friendships. Spending time with younger people, whether that's mentoring a teenager, teaching your grandchild how to cook a family recipe, or simply sharing stories from your childhood, keeps you plugged into fresh perspectives. Younger friends give you energy, while you offer them wisdom and grounding. It's a beautiful exchange that bridges generations and keeps life richer for everyone involved. Now you might be wondering, why does this matter so much for longevity? Because humans are wired for connection. From the moment we're born, survival depends on belonging to a group. That doesn't change just because you hit 60 or 70. In fact, it becomes more important. Friendships act as emotional armor. They help you weather loss, illness, and the inevitable challenges of aging. And they give you a reason to keep showing up, to get dressed, to leave the house, to stay engaged with the world. Here's a little challenge for you. Think about the last time you made a new friend. Has it been months? Years? If the answer is too long, maybe this is the week to put yourself out there again. Say hello to someone new. Ask your neighbor about their day. Join a local group, even if it feels awkward at first, because every handshake, every smile, every small conversation is like adding bricks to the foundation of a longer, healthier, happier life. And remember this, your future self will thank you. 10 years from now, You won't regret the courage it took to introduce yourself. You'll be grateful for the laughter, the stories, the companionship that carried you through the years. So as we wrap up this list of surprising longevity signs, let this one sink in deeply. Your ability to make new friends isn't just a nice bonus. It's one of the strongest predictors of a long and vibrant life. Don't underestimate it. Nourish it, practice it, and most importantly, enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about how long you live, it's about who you get to share the journey with. As we close, let's circle back to what truly matters. Making new friends at any age isn't about filling empty time. It's about filling your heart with connection, laughter, and purpose. When you're over 60, the world might try to tell you that your circle should shrink, that your best days of forming bonds are behind you. But the truth is, your ability to connect with others can be one of the strongest predictors of joy and longevity. Think about it. Each new conversation carries the possibility of turning into a memory. Each handshake, each smile, each story you share could be the seed of a friendship that lasts for years. And those relationships don't just enrich your days, they literally strengthen your mind, your body, and your spirit. The science is clear. People with strong social ties live longer, healthier, and happier lives. But beyond the science, you and I both know, life just feels lighter when it's shared. So maybe this is your nudge. Maybe it's time to reach out, to reopen your heart, and to remind yourself that it's never too late to add a new friend to your story. Because at the end of the day, it's not the things you've collected that make your years meaningful. It's the people who walked beside you. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more conversations that shine a light on the truths of aging gracefully. Together, we can keep building communities of hope, humor, and resilience. One story, one smile, and one new friend at a time.